Hello. Today I'm going to be working on a series of 3 larger pieces. They've already been put through the press as dry points. They've had a little bit of monoprint on and I've covered up lots of them with big chunks of collage. I'm still not quite happy with them, so I'm going to have a bit of a wrestle with them today, adding some more monoprint and rolling some colour onto them. So this is the series of work I'm going to be working on today. As you can see, they've already got quite big chunks of collage over dry point. With this one, I think I'm going to add a bit of the neon green. I've got some neon green down here. I'm going to add some line work there to break up that large piece of darkness, and probably add a little bit of this kind of peachy reddy colour up at the top there, just a little bit, just to bring it out. This one, I think I need a big block of kind of darker colour. I'm thinking kind of brick red at the moment, over probably on this side. All of these originally, they're all from the same printing plate, and they all had gates here, which have been covered up by collage. So working title was 3 gates because there were 3 gates, but because I've covered them up, I'm not sure what I'm going to call them now. Here we go, there's 2 gates here that we can see. And then this one, I think I'm going to break up with a little bit of line work as well, possibly some of that brick red in this area here, or it might go this side. So this is the palette I'm using. I've pre-mixed these colours ready. So I've got a kind of neon green, a brick red, a kind of soft peachy colour. A bit of a wild card here, I just love this turquoisey colour, and I feel like that might go really well with the brick red, so it might be something I work with at the end. Okay, so I'm going to start by rolling out some of this green here, and I'm going to roll it out quite thinly because I'm going to press into the back of my print to get some lines from it. So I only need a thin amount of paint for this. And it's quite transparent because there's a lot of yellow in this. There's a little bit of white as well, but yellow is quite transparent, so it's not going to go over other colours particularly easily. We'll see. Now I'm just kind of vaguely measuring with my hands how wide it needs to be. Yeah, that's about right actually. Okay. Right, so this is the piece that I'm going to be putting some line on. I think I'm going to do this area here. Just going to be emphasising the lines of the land here that were originally there as part of the dry point. Now I've already marked out on the back vaguely where I want them, and what I did was I held the print up to the light, to a window, and I drew onto the back where I wanted them because I can't see through this paper. Right, so now I need to find an implement. I'm going to use this bookbinding tool. Okay, let's have a go. Just going to draw into the back the lines of the land. And where I'm pushing should pick up some of the ink, I hope. Okay, that has picked up some ink. Ooh, there we go. That's really quite bright. But I quite like that. It's kind of echoing this part here. I've got some line work in there now, which is nice. Yeah. Okay, so I've now got still a fair amount of ink on here, but with those lines taken off, you know, where I've pressed in has taken the ink off. So I think what I'm going to do is use that to see if it will print nicely with the negative of what I've just done onto another print. I'm going to see if this one will work. So I'm just going to line this up by eye. This may not print very strongly because it's essentially leftover ink, but I'll just see what it does because it could be nice. press quite hard here. Okay. Right, it's added a bit of the neon onto it, and you can't really see the lines. You can see them a little bit, just there, not loads, but yeah, I still quite like that. It's added something. It's added a bit of neon, the kind of neony green colour at the top there, which wasn't there before. Okay. Okay, so next up, I'm going to roll out some of this kind of brick red colour. And I'm going to roll it out towards this side because I want it to go on that side of my print. So I'll need enough space to do that. Now what I'm going to do here is just roll out a kind of block, an even block of colour. But I'm only going to press into the back of the print where I want the colour. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Struggling to get some even ink here actually. I think I might have something slightly underneath my plastic. But that's okay, I quite like a little bit of unevenness sometimes. Okay, just measuring again, kind of. Right, so. Okay, right. So I'm working on this piece. I think what I would like to do is have this area darker, a bit redder, just to bring the other colours out. Now what I've already done, you might not be able to see this, but I've held this up towards the window, towards the light, and just drawn on the back very sort of casually the area that I want to make that colour. And I've even just drawn in where the little gate is that I want to try not to go over if I can. Right, let's give this a go. Now we've got sunlight streaming in through the windows. So what I'm going to use is just I have these card spatulas. It's just mountain card, quite firm and stiff. And I'm just going to push into the back of the print and see if that picks up enough of the ink. Try and hold it as steady as you can. Slipping a bit here now. That might be because I'm not getting enough ink onto it. Okay, that's interesting. So that's not the amount of ink that I wanted. That's a lot less than I wanted. But it is doing some nice interesting things and making some interesting marks there, and adding a bit of red to the image. So what I might do at this point is I might roll some ink on actually just directly on, because I want a lot more, I do want some more than that. I'm going to use this smaller roller here. Okay. So I'm going to get a nice even amount on my roller. I'm just going to cover up. Okay. Just going to cover up that ink a little bit so I can pop my page over this way a bit. Now I can try and keep the nice bits. I don't like this bit, so I'm going to go over there. There we go, it's a bit more. And in fact, I quite like that feeling of it just blending away down the hill. I might just kind of keep that. So that's a nice happy accident actually. If I can do that without too many roller marks. Yeah, so I actually hadn't planned on doing that, but I like that anyway. think I'm just going to get a bit more ink on my roller. Just see if I can get a nice kind of solid colour there. Okay. So you can be relatively precise with a roller. It's just not so great for doing curved things. Okay. So I think that colour is really helping actually, that print. It's really making the whole thing sing a bit and be a completely different print really. Okay, so I'm going to uncover that red again, and I think I'm just going to roll it out a bit more evenly. And I think I'm going to use it to have a go at doing some line work back into this one. So I put the neon green here. Didn't really show the lines up as I wanted it to. So what am I going to do? I think I will. Just going to have to move my palette out the way a little bit here. Can I lay my paper down? I haven't marked on the back of this, so I'm hoping that my lines are going to be kind of in the right place. Let's just see how that comes out. Okay, quite faint actually. I might need to do those again. There's a little bit, I quite like that softness actually. But I'm going to have another go. And I'm going to press a bit harder this time. Okay. Yeah. So you can see them just here. And just that little bit of red just picks everything up a little bit, doesn't it? I am going to, I think what's happened is just the curve of the lines has just missed the ink a little bit. So I'm just going to put those in. There we go. A bit more curve there, just there. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do in this session is just add a little bit of basically this colour up here in the sky. So I'm going to literally just sort of paint on the colour onto my surface, and then I'm going to press the paper onto it. Now I've just got to be careful that I want the colour to be this side, so that's the left of the picture. That means I'm going to have to actually roll the colour out or paint the colour out on the right hand side so that it will print on the right side. So I'm going to just gently pull it across. I don't want much, so I'm going to take some of that off just with a piece of kitchen towel here. Just want like a little echo of what's down at the bottom. So I think that's about right. Now I'm just going to place this by eye, which can be a bit tricky. Okay, I think that's about right. I'm just going to roll it down. Okay. Pull it up a little bit. Okay, right, I'm going to use my Baron here to just apply pressure just onto that area. Okay, and there we go. We've got quite a painterly, lovely mark there at the top, which is quite different mark making wise to this area at the bottom, but the same colour, so it's picking up on it, and I think that works really well. So at the end of our session today, this is what the prints look like now. I've added a bit of the sort of peachy colour up at the top, some sort of neon green lines. I also got a little bit carried away. This is not on the video, but I've added some kind of red lines here as quite a subtle addition at the bottom there. And I kind of got carried away with the red lines as well. So there's a few on here as well, just to pick up on that lovely band of red that sort of blends down the hill on this one. And then this one here probably changed the least, I would say. But we've got the neon green, we've got some red line, which is making it all kind of sing up a bit. Probably needs a bit more work down here, but I will have to have a think about that one.